Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures. I wanted to bring to your attention a project that recently caught mine, and that is RN Estudio's new project, NEOKINGDOMS. So I've been harping for quite some time on this channel and in real life about the lack of many models for the tabletop that really carry that anime tactics, anime aesthetic that personally I'm a big fan of, but I feel like I'm in the minority sometimes, unfortunately. That's just my preference, and I saw that RN Estudio really is going to give it a shot here. They have a new set of models, and I had the privilege of getting to print some of them up, and I wanted to show you guys just how they turned out. So this one I've already got primed. If they've got names, I don't know what they are, but they are a nice assortment of very 90s JRPG or MMORPG dressed protagonists. So we've got our buxom girl with a giant sword here. And I just thought the artwork alone that RN Studio put up for these figures was really nice, and it really got my attention really fast. I'm like, ooh, this is exactly what I've been missing out on for the table. So what started with one figure here started to multiply until I think I ended up printing almost everything that they had on offer. And I gotta say, I was quite impressed. Oh, yikes, I didn't realize there was a big nasty... Well, I had a bit of a print error on our friend here that I just now realized. Think it's time to change the sheet at the bottom of the printer, but you get the idea here. So we have the grizzled old veteran. Maybe I'll keep him and have a nice battle scar going across his face there with his giant long sword. Now, these are quite tall figures. I will warn you now. They're all on 32. Well, our grizzled old battle-damaged friend here is on a 32mm base, whereas our very developed friend with the giant sword is on a 20mm circle. But as I continued, and hopefully paying a bit more attention, we had the enigmatic warrior with big giant blades, probably with a troubled past. But the artwork just had a lot of color and variety in terms of textures going on with these characters. So I thought they were going to be a lot of fun. My daughter liked this one. He's like, he looks like one of the guys in the band. I like, okay. Then we had the purple-skinned elf girl with flying disc things and Kingdom Death thighs. We can get behind those on this channel. Again, just something different. And for me, I appreciate that. I like seeing something different. The poses may be a bit static. Very static in the sense that they're all kind of at ease. They're not in dynamic action poses. But, you know, that's more a stylistic choice. I think if you're going to be using these for something like an RPG, like tabletop stuff, I think that might not be necessarily a bad thing. But after I primed these characters, I thought, like I said, I was just going to go ahead and I went hog wild and printed everybody, I think. We've got our pluckish teenage adventurer with big fancy shield and weapon and interesting attire. So again, you can see there's lots of textures here on the waistband of his belt, the hair, the braids, the big fancy shield. Quite a few halberd users. As someone who used to play Sung Mina all the time in the various Namco games, I do have a fondness for girls with polearms. I will be the first to admit that. Of course, my wife also has a fondness for boys with giant sticks, like Killick. Oh, see, what is up with my printer? Well, hopefully when you guys print yours, you're not going to have that issue. I actually have had that going on now with a couple of things, so, interesting. I was not aware of that flashy hair in his face there. So like I said, we have quite a few halberd bearers. With the furs, and I don't think that printed all the way. Well then, I have a feeling more than one of these might end up getting painted in Sung Mina colors. The bad guy turned good guy The artwork made him look as very, I don't know, vampiric. The kind of bone-like blade there. Again, we can see some interesting texture work like on the shoulder pads. Another halberd girl. Noticing a trend here. Also noticing that the camera doesn't want to focus on everybody. Let's get them out of the way for the moment. Have a couple more. Wouldn't have a complete party without the archer girl. And even though I have my little complaint about the static at ease poses, I do like the fact that they have a variety of stuff kind of going off of the body in 3D, be it hair, robes, capes, or in this girl's case, sleeves. Reminds me of Shinko from the Darkstalkers games, the hopping vampire girl. Finally, my favorite one, and this one was not a print error. This was me. He had two swords actually attached. You can see it's all kind of broken off. I broke it. And then I lost the hilt. I really like this guy, so I got to clean that up better. I am at the point where I'm probably going to print another version of him, just because. But then again, I'm looking at it. It looks like there was a print error there. Again, those are on me. The supports themselves were quite nice. And that is one of the nice things I got to say about the RN Estudio stuff. When you support and back their projects early, you don't have to worry so much about supporting things yourself. So you can see the lineup is quite nice and quite varied. It's not all girls, it's not all guys. There's a bit of everything for everybody. Some of the models, like our friend right here, I know had an option to have his sword printed off of the body, and I think he was the only one that came in multiple pieces, and even that guy was a model that you could just do in a single piece. I would like to see, hopefully in the future, if this does well for them, some models that are in a bit more action-like poses, because it's not like RN Estudio doesn't do action poses or anything. Grabbing a couple of these, we'll take a look at how they all stack up here. So as I said, these are big models. They're all on 32mm bases, so something to be aware of. We'll grab some of the male and female models. Of course, the Black Swordsman is a bit of a large model there, so that is something to keep in mind. I went and grabbed a few of the other, well, here's another RN Studio model that I have at least painted. You can see size-wise, I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. I grabbed an Anima Tactics figure. I think this is going to be an interesting mix. You might want to shrink them down, I think, if you want to have them blend in with the Anima Tactics stuff, if you wanted to get really old school and do some fun mixing and matching. Some other RN Studio sculpts. These were cast models done a while back. I know they have these available as STL files as well, so if you're interested in those, I'm going to put a link to all of their stuff down below, both the Kickstarter that this is part of and their My Mini Factory page in case you discover this after the fact, so that way you can get a good look at these models. Grabbing a few other anime-esque models that we've got laying around. Yeah, I dig girls with giant swords, it looks like. I think they'll have a nice blend. So if you wanted to do something funky and interesting, make yourself some sort of interesting 5 parsecs from home, 5 miles from the borderlands, Rangers of Shadows Deep. You want to get really interesting. I wouldn't mind having a bunch of plucky JRPG protagonists defending, you know, Helm's Deep or whatever. Definitely some nice models, and I do hope that much like RN Studio's Myth Explorers line, we see some interesting further models in this series. We'll put a link down below, like I said, in case you guys want to check this stuff out for yourself. Me personally, I am eagerly awaiting getting these guys and girls painted and hopefully fixing the errors that I printed and hopefully not needing to replace my printer. But then again, I am looking to get a larger one, and hopefully with all the sales at the end of the year, we will see some good deals. With that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.